Facebook. I think that it all comes down to the lifestyle of the people, which is the culture. So the culture where we find ourselves in has created that problem for us. I see it as a problem because within some years to come, we have generations unborn, and we are expecting that at least not all of us can own our own buildings. But if in our setting we want to go that way, you ask yourself, so in the next generation, where will your kids be? Where would they also have to own these lands? Are we going to go that of the Netherlands way, where it got to a point that they needed land space, they had to move the sea to a certain portion to get the land available under the sea and then fill up so that they could make spaces for properties. And as I speak to you, that part of Amsterdam is one of the most expensive settings that you would find yourself. So we need to change our culture a bit and adopt the new way of going that of the apartment way, high-rise building. And I believe that those who probably might have influenced people negatively on the option of not going the high-rise way are the people that we have to blame. And I believe it has to take a lot of education. It has to start from our younger generation to inculcate that habit of going or living in apartments in high-rise properties. And that is what we have to do. And it's basically down to education.
Well, what I was saying to myself a couple of weeks ago, Frank, is that I'm sure that we'll get to a stage in this country where all of us who even own lands and have put up 6 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 9 bedrooms on it, and then a high-rise building or structure will be mounted on it or built on it, and then some compensation will be given to you, and then you own your apartment. So
exactly. So you make space for those who need places to put their heads. And I believe that is where we have to embrace early enough so that we don't get to the situation that you mentioned. And I believe that the Ministry of Works and Housing has enough work to do. Some of us understand the system. When you go to Tema, some Ghanaians, not all, like I said, the culture of typical accounts are always to protect their territory, to protect their boundary. We are used to that. We always want something for ourselves. We want our own land. We want to build our own property. Even if they have to, about 4 or 5 people, siblings, can develop on one plot of land and then share into rooms. They don't want it. Everybody wants their own part, or they want territorial boundaries. You understand? But doesn't that happen in the outside world? Laws are working. So if you have an apartment and you have your neighbor, there's no need to fight.
All right. So I will not ask any questions right now.
Sure.
All I'm going to ask you to do is run us through what these affordable houses are all about.